What's going on, y'all? KM Best here, and somehow Thanos returned. Yes, that's right. The Mad Titan is back. I had a 65% win rate in High Infinite with this list as I was testing different iterations. This is the one that I came to that was the most successful for me. And I think it sort of makes sense when you look at it, right? Like, I wasn't really doing a lot of prof cannonball stuff, but it's nice to have that as an option. And mostly what's happening here is this is Thanos reimagined as a good cards deck. You are effectively just trying to play a bunch of decent stuff on curve while using your stones in order to have a giant Mockingbird that is free. That's kind of what's going on here. However, there is a wrinkle that is unique to Thanos, and there is a lot of other people playing Profx stuff. Thanos' Bluestone is now going to let you absolutely scam people out of those games. So when you have games where you can drop a 10 power Thanos into their Professor X lane, maybe it only costs 5, maybe your Mockingbird is free, you can start to understand why this deck makes sense in the context of the current metagame. The other major thing that I really wanted to highlight that this deck has going for it is a large variety of 5-drops. And specifically, I wanted to talk about Legion, because basically nobody plays around this card right now. It just simply isn't a thing that people play around, and when people don't play around this card, that is when it is as good as it can possibly be. The interesting thing with Legion is I feel like I'm much more able to put him in a Thanos deck than I am into any other archetype, because any other archetype, there's a lot of competition for those 12 slots. With Thanos, it's more just like you want to have as many options so you can pick and choose your way through the options that you have available to you. This is a deck that is looking to have open-ended options on 5 and 6. And so what you're really trying to do is just make sure that you have a bunch of different stuff that's all sort of hard to play around. Your job is to just pick the best one and go with it, because you're not going to be playing all of your 5s. That's just not really possible. You're going to be playing 1 or maybe 2. You're not playing all of them. You're not playing all of the cards in your deck with this. Like, it's just not a thing that happens. And so there's less pressure on any individual card, which allows these sort of underrated all-stars like Legion to shine. Finally, I do want to note that yes, this deck has a ton of really good cards in it, but I hope you'll understand as we move through the card-by-card breakdown, there's honestly not a lot of super required pieces here, right? Like, I do think Nocturne is just a very good 3-drop. Red Guardian is just a very good 3-drop. Those are replaceable with other very good 3-drops. You can do that. The irreplaceable stuff, when we start talking about it, is Mockingbird, who is the reason to play this archetype. You are looking to be a Mockingbird final turn deck. That's the thing you want to do to people, and that is a card that I do think is irreplaceable. A lot of the rest of this is just pick and choose the best cards at the cost that we have. Psylocke is one of the cards I'm not very sure about. She's been like pretty okay, but nothing to really write home about. I do like that she can accelerate out a Professor X pretty early. I'm into that. I'm into like some of the other things that she does too, like a turn 3 Cull Obsidian if you play a stone on turn 1. One of the major things that the Thanos rework did is it made more of the stones just very good to play early. Green stone, orange stone, and blue stone are all just, I love seeing those on turn 1. They're the best turn 1 plays we have. And so it does sort of feel like there is a little more, happiness in the deck in terms of getting these stones in your opening hand, a lot less to worry about, a lot easier to make plays like Stone into Psylocke into Cull Obsidian without feeling bad about it, right? But I do think that Psylocke is one of the weaker slots in the deck, and if you wanted to experiment with it, I would be absolutely supportive of that. Jeff is Jeff, and I think it should go without saying that he's one of the most important cards in the metagame as it stands. A phenomenally powerful 2-drop that just does everything you would ever want a 2-drop to do. He is as good as people say he is, and even better. Red Guardian is very replaceable. Like, pick a 3-drop and play it. If you want to play Gladiator, sure. If you want to play Polaris, sure. Pick a 3-drop. Mobius, Hope Summers. Do whatever you want. This is the most replaceable card in the deck, probably. I like Red Guardian. He's a 3-5 with upside. I think having a 3-5 with upside is cool. he has never really mattered all that much. He lets you do like some cute stuff, but it's never really been like, oh, this is such a big deal having Red Guardian here. Nocturne is quite powerful. Like when we talk about running best in slot 3-drops, this is, in my opinion, the best 3-drop in the entire game. It's very hard for me to think of any other 3-drop that I would rather run than this card. She is the Jeff of 3-drops. I get it. She's worse than Jeff. That's fine. She is worse than Jeff. I'm willing to admit that. But the fact that you can compare her to what is the consensus best card in the game, and that is the only real comparison she has, should tell you what level of power and ubiquity this card is operating on. Whenever I want a 3-drop, I want to play her. Is she irreplaceable? No, not really. Is she the best thing you can run here? Almost certainly. Iron Lad is a big-time flex slot. I got this list from Abe on the Asia server, actually, a member of my Discord, and he had a Storm in there that every time I played was completely awful. So I tried other stuff in the Storm slot. The first thing I tried was Nico Minoru. The second thing I tried was this Iron Lad. I think on the whole, I was happier with the Iron Lad, but it's hard to really tell how much the influence of one slot mattered. What I did come up with was I really didn't like the Storm. I didn't like it at all. It kept getting blown up by opposing Nocturnes or invalidated by Jeffs, and just, it did not feel like the right thing to be doing. This is basically a free space. Whatever sort of card you want to play, pick a card, put it in here. You can play Shang-Chi, you can play Elsa Bloodstone, you can play Nico Minoru, whatever you want, really. Like, there is a lot of room for skill expression or customization in this deck, for sure. I know there is a contingent of people out there that are just so mad that Thanos died and they spent their tokens on Cull Obsidian. Well, good news. He's actually pretty damn good here. There is not a lot of Shang-Chi in this metagame. There is a lot of Professor X in this metagame. Big guy coming down early makes you pretty difficult to Professor X, lets you pigeonhole your opponent into Professor Xing a lane that maybe a Bluestone Thanos can win, or maybe you can just prevent them from Professor Xing you entirely. He's a 4/10. You're pretty interested in a 4/10. So, yes, this is a Professor X Cannonball deck, but I gotta tell you, it kind of almost never played like that. I can't think of one game that I actually won with Prof X Cannonball. It just didn't really happen, because all the other Prof X Cannonball decks are better than you at it, but you need it in here because otherwise you end up in these matchups where it's like, I don't have any answers to your combo. So, like, this guy really showed up when I was playing against, like, Wong Nomura decks, right? He was very good in locking down the Wong lane and preventing bad things from happening to me. He was good at taking advantage of certain locations, but this is a good card in the deck outside of Cannonball. This is not a Prof X Cannonball deck the way the other decks are Prof X Cannonball decks, if only because you're not going to be drawing them as reliably. This is a good Prof X Cannonball deck, but it uses both of them fairly well instead. Legion was kind of the star of this deck, honestly. Like, because no one's really playing around him, you can set up some very gross Legion scenarios with this deck. You really can. And I think he probably won me the most cubes out of any card because of the way he can make stuff happen. I remember specifically there were 2 plays that really stick out to me. One was locking down a lane that I was losing and then legioning Nidavellir so that I won that lane because I had more units than they did. I was just losing on power. And then Legion Nidavellir made me win that lane, the Professor X lane. There was another one where they had sent over a Titania and clogged me, but I was able to clone the location that put all the rocks in there. And so when they went to get the Titania back on the final turn of the game, there was no room for it to come back, and I won that one. And that's just, like, plays that are impossible without Legion. They're just, like, not possible. No other card can do those things. And they're very edge casey. Like, it's a very edge case thing, but the cube equity on him is very big. Honestly, this guy was not that good. Like, you're a Thanos deck, and because of that, the reliability of any 2-card combo is just lower than what it would be otherwise. Being able to do Prof X Cannonball, like, in theory is really cool. It never did anything. Like, I don't really think this deck has to be a Cannonball deck, where I do think this deck has to be a Prof X deck, and so you run the Cannonball just because you can. But, like, it's really, like, you have a lot of top-end bullshit in this deck, where it's like you got 20 power Thanos sometimes, you got like Mockingbird and Blob, and it's like, you don't really need Cannonball to win those lanes once you have the Profex down. There's just a lot of big stuff in here that can do the same thing. And I think keeping that in mind, like, yeah, I think I'm going to get a fair few comments that are like, you're just making Cannonball Profex, all the good cards from the last 2 months. And that's a reasonable critique. I don't really know why I did it in the silly voice, but I do think that this is far from a Cannonball Profex deck as the top line. Profex does a lot for this archetype because it's very full of big lane winners at the top end. Mockingbird is the reason to play Thanos. I think that this is the biggest reason to choose to be a Thanos deck instead of something else, because a 3/9 is very, very strong. Like, this is a very incredible card. And I think a lot of, like, since Thena, there have not been as many Mockingbird Profex decks running around, because everyone has been playing Thena in those spots instead, and it's very hard to play Thena in a deck where you're playing like Mysterio or whatever, which does sort of make me wonder if Thanos is now the best home for Mockingbird again, and I think that is potentially true. I was very impressed with this card. This card is the draw to the archetype. She is why you want to be doing this. And of course, it's very fun, but like in a competitive sense, this is the card that makes you be good. Blob was pretty good for me. Like, I don't necessarily think Red Hulk might not be better. But one of the advantages that Blob had that really showed up and did matter was that when Loki Lokis you, if they get a Blob, it sucks. If they get a Red Hulk, it's huge. And I think that asymmetry, when I'm not really sure how far off they really are, Red Hulk is basically always 15 plus. That's pretty good, right? Like, that's a good thing to have. He's very rarely ever smaller than that. I don't think he was ever smaller than that for me. And you can play him and be like, I hope this works out the right way, such that he gets to like 19 or 20 or whatever, and you can try to make that happen as well. I do think he's better than Red Hulk, or at least equivalent, and the Loki stuff sort of pushes him over the edge, where it's like, this is now a card that is phenomenal for you, and a deck that is traditionally very good into you does not actually have a reasonable answer for it. One thing you are going to want to keep an eye out for with this guy, though, is Cannonball just kills him every time, so do pay attention to that. Okay, so let's talk about Thanos. We're going to talk about each of his stones as well, because I think he is still, a lot of him is the stones, but I will say I was definitely playing Thanos more than I otherwise would be. Like, this was actually a card I would play. A lot of that was due to the green stone being able to make him playable on 5. But like, there were games where I got 20 power Thanos. That happened. I did lose one of those because I threw, but it is kind of a thing. There's not a lot of Killmongers running around, so I don't feel the need to play Kyera. I was fairly impressed with the rework of this card. Now, it is bad that he starts in your opening hand, and there were definitely games where it was just like, oh, I don't have any stones. But in those games where you don't have stones, you can do stuff some of the time, like just play a good 3-drop into a good 4-drop into like a Scam Professor X or something like that. You can play games. It's not great. I don't think it's great. But when you do have stones, this guy really does feel a lot like how he used to feel. Bluestone is a card that I have noticed myself being much happier to just play on turn 1 than I used to be. One of the things that this change did is make me much happier to play this card whenever I have it. Just draw a card, discount my Mockingbird, the ongoing effect is there. One thing that I did notice, though, is that because Bluestone and so many others are ongoing effects, it reduced the value of my Nico Minoru when I was running that, because a lot of what Nico would be doing is blowing them up, and you want them on the board not just for Mockingbird discounts, but also to, get their ongoing effects. Nico ends up a little bit worse, even though you keep the Mockingbird discount when you turn it into a demon, it is noticeably different. Reality Stone was rarely super relevant because we are a Nocturne deck. It was relevant when it was relevant, though, for sure. And I do think that this card no longer being something that you're pressured to play out early does make it significantly better. The move of the draw from this stone to the Soul Stone makes playing Soul Stone early much better and makes you feel like a bit smarter for saving this card if it ends up mattering. One of the things that this deck has is an astonishing array of location control. We have Nocturne, we have Reality Stone, we have Legion. The locations are going to be working for us. That's just how it goes when you play this deck. This honestly just rocks. Like, making Thanos a 5-drop, I mean, 5/10's pretty good number. 5/10 that can't be destroyed, also pretty good. We're going to get to that when we talk about the Soul Stone. I'm very happy to see this in my opening hand. It's one of the cards that I feel like got a little easier to play. There is no longer like, oh, I need to hold this to like scam out a Profex or whatever. It's not really a thing anymore. You get it, you play it, you discount your Mockingbird, you draw a card, you discount your Thanos. It's great. Mind Stone is still pretty busted. There were definitely some like snap-on Mind Stone scenarios when you have just this much weirdness that you can have in a deck like this, where it's like, all right, if I get this Mind Stone, I start drawing cards, I feel like I'm gonna be able to do something pretty stupid. And that was true basically all of the time. Mind Stone on 2 is still absolutely phenomenal. It did matter that it's drawing only stones now. There were like Subterranea games where if I had been drawing those rocks, it would be terrible, but because it drew stones, it was not terrible at all. It came up. This stone didn't change at all, and it is exactly the same as you remember it, so I don't really think I gotta talk about it very much. It's a 1/3. You're pretty happy with a 1/3. You're not overly indexing for being able to play all the stones. That is very, very rare because it's hard to weave in. Like, the one real casualty of Mind Stone costing 2 is that it makes it much harder to, like, play all the stones and also, like, you know, Stone plus Nocturne on 4, and then it goes to turn 5, and you have, like, a bunch of stones in hand, and you can play 3 stones, or you can play a 5-drop, and I've almost always opted to play the 5-drop in those scenarios, which means that I'm probably never going to get the Thanos plus 20, right? Like, that's kind of how it's gone. And of course, Soul Stone. Now, this just makes Thanos indestructible. And that has, I gotta tell you, it matters more than you think. Like, there have been, like, you know, random discard stuff that hits Thanos and he doesn't get discarded. Like, it's mattered. It has come up. I don't think the destroy stuff comes up too much, but it has mattered and it has come up. Mostly, though, what you're happy about with this card is that it draws a card and discounts your Mockingbird. We keep coming back to that, but you don't have to worry about where it goes. It's just like, oh, okay, but boom, I'm good. And I do think that one thing that's going to trip people up, and it tripped me up for like my first 2 games with this deck, please remember that this does not have negative power affliction anymore. This is not the 1/5 you remember it being. Please do remember that. All right, y'all, thank you so much for making it through that video. I hope you enjoy playing some Thanos. I'm very happy to have him back at least a little bit. I'm a little sad he's a Profex Cannonball deck, but lest we forget, Thanos sort of originated that style. This is just, imagine playing this deck with the old stones. Like, good lord. Everyone else came up and really just started stealing Thanos' flow. We're talking about other Profex Cannonball decks here. You're really just stealing Thanos' flow. This is a Thanos joint. This is a Thanos original, and he's here to take back his spot. All seriousness, I was very impressed with this list. I didn't expect to be. Just straight up, that's just what happened. I was expecting it to be not very good, and it was very good. All right, y'all. Thank you so much. As always, I've been Cam Best. You've been phenomenal. Enjoy the Cam Boost. I will see you later. Am I getting Super Thanos this game? I might be. I think I gotta do that now, actually. Wait, no. Yeah, no, these draw cards now. I do have to do that now. I had a thought. It hit Thanos, yeah. So here's the thing. I desperately want to do this and then Legion the middle. I could also just prof the Titania here. I just think this play is so much cooler. You caught a timeout for being a jerk, I think. He snaps me. Okay, let's do some math. 5, 7, 6, 8. Fine, I will snap it back. I don't know that I win if he's smart enough to figure this shit out. I don't know that I win if he's smart enough to figure this shit out. So I think there definitely are worlds where he's smart enough to figure this shit out. He was not smart enough to figure this shit out. We would have lost to a Jeff left. That's the math I was doing. The math I was doing there was we lose to a Jeff left. Like, we actually just straight up lose if he figures out what's going on there. Are we ever a blink deck? Are we ever realistically a blink deck? Probably not. We don't have a lot of big top end guys. Let's say we're probably not. A shame we can't put Cull Obsidian into the big house. Going around. It sucks, but we have to just let it go. It's so tempting. I think I snapped. How it's been for me, like, as a content creator, I've really enjoyed my time as a streamer, for sure. I'm looking at this Legion, dude. I don't think it ever wins is the issue. I can collapsed mine the Legion to win the big house. They don't win left. What we do is we make sure we keep the Titania and we stay at 8 there. They win left? How do they win left? How do they win left? It's like Cannonball Kitty Pride, right? I'm thinking about where the bird and the stone go. There it is, baby. Look at those rocks. Look at those rocks! Legion ballin'. Oh, we didn't even need it. But he's still ballin', baby! Look at that shit. Ava also playing Killmonger. Not great. Ava's a Killmonger Shang deck. Just kind of an unfortunate matchup for us, I think. I do generally like what's going on here, but not enough to feel great about it. Like, just being a Killmonger Shang deck is real bad for me. Maybe I'll draw Red Guardian in my 11-card deck. Okay. I will put that card there. All right, I've got a strategy. I don't know if I like my strategy, but it is a strategy. Do you snap it? Probably not. Because I'm very scared of Ava. Feel like it's snap worthy. All right, but like, well, when I lose, you'll understand. When he, like, puts all the cards on the left and I die, you'll understand why this was dumb. You'll understand why this was dumb. He's about to do it, and then we're about to die. 100%. Holy shit, 0%. So, wait a minute. What happened there? Hold on. What happened there? I'm confused. Why didn't Thena get any points? He hid Shang. God, I'm so confused. So if I Legion the Baxter building, I get +4 on it, but I don't know if that's enough for me to feel like I actually win it. If I go for, like, Cannonball on the right, I can lose to their Cannonball on the right? Whatever, screw it. And if they Cannonball, it goes to the middle, and that's good for me? I win the tiebreaker by 1 point. I'm not even going to pretend to have done that math. I had no conception of what would possibly happen there. We got away with it, though. There was a world where I played Space Stone Middle that I think I lost because that gives them extra power on the Sage. It's my friend's chat room. It's a secret Minecraft server. Yeah. Oh, man, my Thanos? Fuck. You can't do that. I'll get a rock if I have to. You dox your friends for me? No. Armor. Spider Ham armor. I'm freaking out a little bit. Ooh. Ah. Well, thank you. Oh, wow. They just clogged. They clogged and I didn't. Nice. I'll take it. Horrifying. Well, I hope he doesn't have any ways to deal with our shit. I hope he can't win that lane, is basically what I'm saying. There is someone in the Asia server in that chat room, yes. Fuck yeah, dude. Correct? Order's wrong. Jeff first, then Mockingbird, then Nocturne, then Soulstone, then Cannonball. So we should win, yeah. Scar. 18. Oh, God. Oh, that was so fucking close. Holy shit. That was so fucking close. Holy shit. That was way closer than it had any right to be. There's got to be something instead of Storm. IP3. All right, Storm. It's your time. This is a good... Oh, fuck. It's fucking... This is Nightcrawler. All right, I guess it's not your time, Storm. You did your best. You tried. But it ended up not being your time. Okay, Storm. Can you pull it off for me? I swear to fucking God if Legion costs me this game on the Grand Central. I swear to God. Legion, I just need you to not fuck me, please. That's all I need, buddy. Just a non-fucker. All right, Legion? Just one little don't fuck me, please. All I require of you. I don't think it's that much to ask. Please don't fuck me, Legion. Come on, not Legion. Are you shitting me? Awesome, dude. Okay, I mean, I guess it worked out, right? If they Shang-Chi me, I will simply die. Fair enough. Hope I don't fucking die over here. Horrifying. Okay. We're good. Unless... Okay. Every bit of fucking location thing that happened there was so annoying. Do we try to clog them? We definitely Mind Stone there. I don't feel great about the Power Stone play. I don't remember what they were playing. Is it worth sacrificing whatchamacallits? Alright, they're wonging. Gross. I hate this. Oh my god, they got my fucking Mind Stone? Or Reality Stone? They got my time. Alright. If I play Wong, then Legion this. On the final turn of the game, this will cost 2, this will cost 3. I've got a strategy. I don't know if it's a good strategy, but I'm going to try something here. All right, Legion. I'm going to play Blob on Wong, and then Thanos Mockingbird on another one. That is my plan. So what's in my deck? I've got a Soulstone 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. So I can put 20 on the mid. I can put 20 on the mid. Or I could put 19 on the right. I think I'm going to put 19 on the right. Cool, we're good. Yeah, we just had the Wong, his actual role there was the Mockingbird discounter that we needed. Turn 1 Time Stone. This is the old turn 2 Mind Stone. With Mockingbird here, I want them on the board. Cannonball does enjoy a Mojo world. Fuck. Everything's so hard. I don't have priority, dude. Legion left. I don't have priority, chat. Are you guys joking? Don't suggest plays that always lose. That seems ridiculous. Fuck it, let's just do this. Think we die? We lose that by 1 point. That's tough. Wait, go left. Yes! We did it! We won a 50-50. Psylocke's not doing much, is she? What the fuck does that mean? So what's under Invisible Woman? Iron Lad, that would be my read as well. So how do we win this game? What if it's just this? Okay. No way we could allow that to go to the final turn of the game. I really appreciate it. Okay. I have not enjoyed Psylocke. What if we try Ravonna instead, literally just for cheaper profits? Is Thanos actually viable? I have done far better than I should have with this deck. I am so tempted for this to be a Legion Vault game. He's just dead, right? He plays the Iron Man right now and dies. It might be magic. Holy shit, could you imagine? What if they magic? What if they magic? Where... Oh god, please don't magic. I'm being sniped? Wait, no, it's actually 100% fine. They're dead still. They're still dead. We have, what's his face? The stone. They're just fucking dead. Still insanely dead here. They might have actually just cost themselves 4 cubes on this. Snipe for sure. Yeah, see, now they retreat because they're sniping. Play around Ultron? I will not do that. If they fucking Ultron me, congratulations on your win. Order in case Deathstone man. We don't have the ability. This costs 2, dude. Holy shit. Nice. We're out of here. Yeah, their magic actually cost them 4 cubes here. Whale Moji. Nice. Oh, okay. Mind Stone. Oh, wow. So, obviously, like, there's some awkward things happening here with Loki. But also, kind of some interesting stuff happening here for us. I will end up buying it. Don't get me wrong. Solid call getting rid of Elysium. I respect it. Quinjet. Alright. Red Guardian, my Jeff. You got him. I'll Red Guardian your Nocturne now that it's too late to matter. He does probably play a Jhin there, but it's okay. What did Lad hit? The Nocturne. Hit Red Guardian on the Nocturne. They do play a Jhin. I think this is, like, mostly okay. Like... Oh, yeah, that's also just totally fine. That is what I would describe as chill. That's not chill. I don't like that at all. Does anyone remember if Mockingbird was in my opening hand? I kind of think that's the whole thing here. Oh no, it won't activate. Actually, I don't know. Let's find out. Let's find out if it turns on here. Like on 6, if this turns on. Well, she wasn't in my opening hand. Okay, that's unfortunate. And we're one stone off having the 20 Thanos, unfortunately. Alright, I mean, I think I know what the play is. Down 8. Down 3. Yeah, I think I know the play. Let's do it. Well, our blob is better than their blob. The question is, how good is it exactly? Great question, no idea, is my ultimate answer. Because, like, their blob is pretty shit. And we don't actually have, like, a ton of amazingly big shit here. So it's like, I don't really know what they're going to do. But I'm interested in finding out. There's a Thanos in the middle. There's a Mockingbird. We win the right. We win. We did it, chat. Is the play to die? No. Actually, the play is win every single time. Get fucked, chat. You don't know shit. Their blob costs 3. Their blob doesn't do anything. They have no actual cards they can hit. Like, Cannonball plays for 11. Even he's not big enough. Because they had priority there. There was just nothing. There was just no things. Ugh, the Loki gamers. They're everywhere. I don't really know what I'm doing here. Praying, I think. Praying I get like a Professor X on the draw next turn, right? Oh shit, that's nice. Huh. Huh. Okay. Oh, he didn't leave. That's not good. This can't be good. Oh, it was good. Look at us. Look at us. We did it. Red Hulk procced. The Yondu Baroned in the wrong order. It wouldn't have mattered. They get a stone no matter what.